They say everything's bigger in Texas, and now that includes your child support obligation. My name is Josh Floyd. Welcome to the Consultation. Here I have with me
Christina Jimenez.
We are both board-certified family law attorneys here at Jimenez Floyd Family Law Firm. We've got offices in Dallas, Flower Mound, Louisville, Bedford, Midland, and Odessa to serve you in case you have a child support issue going on in that area. But today specifically, we're going to talk about child support and how the legislatures have increased the cap now and could result in you paying more.
Yes, get ready. If you are the possessory conservator and if you make a significant amount of money. So there have always been in the past what we call a child support cap, right? Max guideline support is kind of something that we will typically talk about. And for years and years, the cap was $9,200 of net resources. Okay. And so if someone made $30,000 a month, okay, if they made $10,000 a month, anything over the $9,200, your child support was going to be based on that net income. And here recently, it has changed, and this took effect September 1st. See, even the building is scared out of this conversation. And so it's increased significantly. Floyd, what's the increase to the new net?
From 92 to 11.7. It's a big jump. The last increase was from 8,500 to 9,200, but this time we've seen a significant jump of $2,500.
Yeah. And so I was in mediation the other day, and I think it was like on September the 2nd, and it hit me that cap increase was coming, and my client, earned more than, well, he earned quite a bit, and so the number that he was accustomed to paying for the temporary orders was now going to be significantly increased, pursuant to the new net monthly resources. So be on high alert for that. So I see that you're doing some math over there. What is it that you were looking at? Like, what's the new amounts?
Yeah, so I was looking at so before under the 9,200, if you made about, I think it was a little over 13,000. That I wasn't doing math on. I'm trying to go from memory on that. So 13,000 or so gross would put you what we call maxed out on child support, right? You would hit your 9,200 net because these numbers are net, right? Not your net, but what the state of Texas thinks your net is.
So let's stop right there really quick and kind of explain that to people, because people always get pissed off and confused about how do we come up with the net resources. So do you want to talk about the AG tax chart and kind of how it works?
So yeah, the Attorney General has a tax chart, and it takes out, your Social Security, your federal taxes, and then if you have a state income tax, which we don't in Texas, so it doesn't apply here, but it takes that stuff out of your gross resources, and it comes to what they determine your net should be. Now, all your 401ks and health insurance and stuff like that comes out, your Roth and all that, none of that is computed into your net income. It's just your gross less those taxes the AG allows for, and that gets you to your true net, right?
I'd say most attorneys, including us, we have this handy dandy app where we just go in and plug in the gross number and then press a button, and then the net resources will be automatically calculated.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And there is a deduction for the cost of health insurance associated with the kiddo that will affect your net as well, but it is not a dollar for dollar discount. It's based on a percentage of your net resources. And so net used to be 9,200. Now it's at 11,700. And so you had... Do you want to go over the numbers?
The gross was like 13, right? Mm-hmm. Now the gross that they'll consider is a little under 17,000.
Yeah. And so, as an example, for one kiddo at 20%, under the old calculation with the cap of the 9,200, child support would be at around $1,840. And so I always kind of had that number like in my head, and you're like, it'll be around $1,800. Now the number is going to be around $2,300, $2,340 approximately. So it's a pretty significant increase per month in child support. That's one kiddo. You have other kiddos over there or no?
I don't have other
Okay.
kids. No, I
Alrighty.
do not.
So obviously, when you have more kiddos, if there's 2 kiddos, it's 25. If there's 3 kiddos, it's 30, so on and so forth. Start doing the math on this, and you can see how much your child support obligation is going to increase. And it's going to get expensive very, very quickly.
Now, remember, this only applies if you are capped out, right?
Mhm.
If you're maxed out. So I would say, I don't know, 15% of our cases, 20% of our cases are really capped out. The normal guidelines stay the same. If you're below the 9,200, right, it doesn't matter. It's still the same, 20%, 25%, 30%. The formula is the same. But if you are capped out at 9,200 and you make more, so this applies to people that gross between $13,000 and $17,000 a month, this is who this is going to affect.
Right. And so, how do you do this? Like, so is it automatic that the other side or the payor is going to have an increase in child support? That's a question that I've been getting here a lot lately, and the answer is no. You have to file for modification to request that it be increased. And so even if, hypothetically speaking, they're making $17,000, $18,000 a month and you're under the old guidelines, if you want to move forward with getting this increase, then you're going to have to file a modification. Um, if it has been more than 3 years, and the child support would increase by 20% or $100, then I think you're good to go, okay, with the new statute. Where I'm a little bit fuzzy on, and I don't know where the courts are going to land on this, and I think that there's just going to unfortunately have to be some cases that other attorneys try or that we try, is what if it's only been a year? And what if you were under the old guidelines and now, he's still making the same amount, but your child support would increase. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it. Maybe it's going to be a case by case basis, right? I think that whether this would constitute a material substantial change in circumstances, I mean, already that term is so fluid, right? On a case by case basis. That I think maybe if you have a mother that comes in and says, "Hey, I'm struggling at this rate," maybe the courts will consider, "Hey, this is going to be material substantial to this one person," right? But if you have somebody that's both of them living high on the hog and he's just paying guideline because that's what he's ordered to pay, then maybe not so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a court by court basis, right? So I think that what's going to end up happening is some attorneys are going to start filing these things. And then, obviously the attorney's talking. So we'll figure out very quickly, okay, this particular judge will grant a modification solely based on the changed law, or no, they're not going to do it. And you're going to have to wait your 3 years before you can file. So, which is honestly a little bit crappy if you have to wait that long. With you could be getting an extra $500 a month.
Well, I
in
ran
child
some numbers
support.
for you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so do comparative between the caps. Right? For one child, you said it's $500 difference. Right? For 2 children, it was $2,300. Now $2,925. 3 children was $2,760. Now $3,510.
So an extra $750.
Yep. 4 children, $3,220 is the old cap. $4,095 is new.
I think that's $875.
You're really good at reading the math on my computer. Yes.
Thank you, Floyd.
And you should be able to do this in your head without looking.
Okay,
3680 and 4680.
Is that 1,000?
That's 1,000.
Wow. Okay.
That increase of approximately 27.2%.
Crazy. Crazy. So what? It's $4,600 a month for 5 children.
$4,680 a month. Yes.
I mean, but honestly, when you're
5
raising
kids.
5 kids, that's not a whole lot. I don't know.
That's not.
My kids are pretty expensive. So, I mean, I don't know. I asked you this before we got on and you didn't answer me. Like, what do we think of the new caps?
I kind of like it. So I was actually just going to look it up, but I'm going to try to go off memory now. Okay. I think the last time we saw the cap increase was 10 years ago.
Don't know.
8 years ago. I'm going to look this up, but cost of living has gone up so much, right? Interest rates going up so high. And particularly when you're going through divorce, right? You're having to, buy a new home, right? You can't wait until interest rates go down. And so you're paying the higher interest rate. It's costing more to raise kids. Now every kid has a, iPhone 43 or whatever the new one is, and iPads and PlayStations and Apple Watches and all that stuff. I mean, groceries going up. And we haven't seen really a cost of living increase for child support in quite some time. And so I think it's a drastic jump, but there's a lot of mothers out there struggling on minimal support.
I mean, $2,300 a month for child support. That's, and you said that the gross is typically what on that?
A little under 17,000 gross would make you capped out.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot. I had a little bit of sticker shock whenever I was going through the numbers with my client. So that means if their net is at 11,700 and then you're taking $2,300 off of that, that's a pretty significant hit to somebody's pay every single month. So
yeah, actually, if you look at it comparatively speaking, because I just pulled it up, right? So 2007, the cap was at 7,500, and 6 years after that, 2013, they went to 8,550, so they increased it $1,000. Then 2019, they went to 9,200, so they only increased it 700. And here we are 6 years later, and now it's a $2,500 jump. That's huge compared to what they've. I mean, that's more than all the prior increases total.
right, right.
It's a massive jump.
Now, here's the thing that I'll say that so if you are the person who has custody, so you're going to be receiving the child support, obviously your attorney is going to argue guidelines, right? Like, this is the presumption, this is what the law has said to be in the best interest, and so we're going to stick with this number. If you are the obligor, so you're the person that's going to be paying the child support, I think that it's important to remember that you can always argue for a deviation of the child support guidelines, right? And so you can try to make a reasonable argument to the court as to why this significant increase shouldn't take place, right? What other bills do you have to pay? What other obligations do you have? How much time are you spending with the child? Do you have to travel to see your child? Are you paying for other expenses associated with the child that maybe you're not counting as child support, etc.? Because I do think, again, this is a bit of a sticker shock. And so don't forget that you can always try to argue for deviation. I will say that a lot of times it's not very successful, but you would need to talk to your attorney in your area to see what they say about all that.
And it's interesting you bring that up because I was just talking to a client about this the other day, right? I've been successful in arguing for upward deviations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever succeeded in a downward deviation from child support.
I mean, I have whenever it's associated with travel expenses, right? So
Right.
mom relocate.
Yes. But just
And
a straight up.
yeah, like even when I have, and it's typically with my high income earning clients where, the father says, well, I really want to pay for my kiddo to go to this, really prestigious private school and the tuition is $1,200 a month. I have had judges say, well, that's his choice. If he wants to do that, then he can pay that, but he's still paying the guideline child support. And so, yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but again, I think it's potentially worth a shot. Don't really have much to lose. So
I just asked Ace, who is my handy little co-conspirator here, why so much? And housing increase up 40%, many counties, groceries up 25%, childcare up 35%, health insurance up 30%, right? And this is a 27% increase. So I guess it falls in line
they
with.
had a reason to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So if you have primary conservatorship of your kiddos, I would definitely go in, have a consultation with an attorney in your area, talk to them about this new pay increase or this new child support increase, and see if they think that this is something that the judge in your area would be inclined to do. If you are the person who's going to have to pay child support,
Run, yes.
No,
yes.
just kidding. Don't do that.
Be nice.
Be very kind.
Children.
Yes. And I guess just be mentally prepared. Because once the word gets out, thankfully to our podcast,
Sorry.
then they might be hitting you up for a modification. So, anything else we need to share?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, as always, thank you guys for watching, listening. We are board certified as board certified attorneys.
We can't say the word, but we can practice it.
And so, as always, do not take this as legal advice. If you find yourself in this situation, please find local counsel, consult with them, and rely on their advice. And make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of them. Thank you.